found this. Check this out. This is a box of grommets, and this just lets you guys know how hot it got in this boat. These aren't covered in WD-40. They're actually melted. They're melted together. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. There is a problem.
That's what all the windows did, essentially.
Yeah. So, like, everything rubber on the boat is like this. And it's just made for, you know, interesting, a lot of problems. I've just torn this entire boat apart, looking for the power. I took all the stuff out of here, took the backs off of them, took the headliners off, took this out, all this stuff too, ripped apart the head. All of these cushions are from here. The batteries are under here, so I was looking through there. All these papers are from when I was looking for the diagram for the boat. And I finally found the switch. This is all I needed. Windlass off, windlass on. Why would you put it underneath the seat? That's just messed up, man. Look. This seat. Goes right there. It was under my ass the entire time. I was working on the computer this morning. I could have just reached down there, doop, done. I found it though, and the windlass is working. So let's go replace the foot switches. What we need to do is open up the rest of this and see exactly what's going on with these cables in here. I can see that one of them is just disconnected already. So I've got my multimeter, I've got new switches. We're gonna go ahead and just change these out and yeah, figure out if we can get this damn anchor windlass working. If we get this working, this is the last thing to do before we can go on anchor and get out of the marina. But I need to get that chain out, I need to cut a piece off of it because this is pretty bad. This stuff is pretty rusty, but the stuff inside looks pretty good. So I'm just gonna keep that stuff and cut the rusty part off, and then I'll move the boat up here, put the chain on the dock, and then mark it, put it all back on board, call it a day. We need that working. Because with this anchor and this chain setup, it's gonna be a pain if I don't have a windlass to pull it up for me.
Among the spares I found after purchasing the sailboat were a set of foot switches for the windlass, and as you can tell, they're due for some love. After they were installed, I wanted to get the anchor rod and all the associated gear up to par. This included cutting off 2 meters of chain, then laying it out, measuring and marking it. Sailing around the world for the last 4 years has taught me to adopt the metric system. So I measured out 10 meters and got to pulling it all out of the locker. It's a dirty, heavy job. A Dremel tool is a key tool on a sailboat. Big thanks to Joe Brzezinski and all the patrons that helped me with the Amazon wishlist. If you'd like to see what's on Zingaro's wishlist, there's a link in the description. There are a few ways to mark the chain on a sailboat. Some use spray paint. Some use little plastic chain markers. There are also electronic counters, or simply counting works as well. Next, I finally hook up my new 33 kilo Rockna anchor. This was a very nice upgrade from the smallish CQR that the boat had on it. I'll put a swivel on there when I have a chance. Then just put it all back together, stow the old anchor as a spare. Keep in mind these numbers are in meters, so times by 3 if you're used to feet. And sit back and have a look at your work. Doesn't she look pretty?
Okay, so this is the windlass right here. And then underneath here is a box with the hawse pipe, they call that. And then the box. And underneath the box, it's sealed with 5200. And there's the new wires for the foot switches. That's another reason why I had to take it off. So wired in the foot switches. Didn't want to put butt connectors because this gets super wet in here. I mean, if we take a wave, this is going to fill with water. It's got 2 drains on the side. Right now they're underneath the chain. You can't see them, but they drain right out the hull of the boat. This piece of the boat is a watertight compartment with the exception of these 2 drain holes that are going through the hull of the boat. So it's kind of like a crush bulkhead. So this part of the boat can be completely crushed and you still would be afloat. Cool. Got it?
Yeah.
And this is called the anchor locker, and it's supposed to fill with water. But usually it's just a little bit as we're taking waves. But this is all the electronics to the thing, so I'm just trying to make them all pretty. And it's, of course, drooping on me because I'm using a little too much, but whatever. I should have got the fast cure stuff. That stuff works better in this kind of situation. But all it really needs is just gooped on everywhere so no big water waves can get through it.
So this is one of the rare situations where I fixed something that wasn't really broken. Why? Well, this pump's been discontinued, and for such an important job as pumping the bilge, I wanted to have something in there I could trust and swap easily. Note the bronze head for consistent use in salt water without corrosion. The last hatch to get swapped was the forward one. The old hatch that was here had a broken latch and would never have kept this sail locker dry. It's important to tape off the areas that you don't want the adhesive to adhere to. And the way I usually make the corners with the tape is with a bunch of smaller pieces rather than trying to bend the tape around it, which usually just leads to a bigger mess.
Now that's service with a smile right there. Thank you, bro. Really appreciate that, man. You want to tie up?
No, I have to work.
You working? You just dropping this off?
Yeah,
Okay, cool, man. Thanks, dude. I really appreciate that. You're the man.
I was thinking about picking you up in the engine, but I thought here you have all your tools.
Yeah, dude, I'm good. I already got the engine running. It's good to go.
Good?
Yeah, we're good. Oh, man, it looks so good. Nicely done, sir. Have you met Irvin, Laura?
I don't think so.
This is the man that fixed our dinghy.
Hi, Irvin.
One of my best friends here. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that, man. That's gonna be nice to have. It is day 2 at Anchor. I realized that the generator's making noise in the background, but I wanted that on purpose because it took me all morning to get running again. Because what I'm figuring is the hose has hit the pulley, and it had a piece of electrical tape around it from where it hit before, and instead of like routing it differently and putting different mounts and duct tape, or not duct tape, but zip tying it up, someone just put a piece of electrical tape around it, which is just not a good fix for that. So basically what's been happening is the engine will run for like an hour and then it will overheat and shut down because that hose is leaking water. And I can't see it leaking, but what happens is I think is when it gets up to temperature, then it starts leaking. And yeah, so that's what I've been dealing with. I need a new hose for the generator. I think that's the problem. Also, the switches that start it are being little bastards, so I'm going to replace both of those switches. And I went to do the bathroom yesterday, the head, and I put in a brand new pump that came with the boat. These things are like 125 bucks, and it was broken. So give me one sec, because I got to push this in here real quick. So when I went to go start flushing it, it just started pissing out this thing. And brand new piece, broken here, 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 and here. So I've been trying to get these little things out of here by melting a screwdriver, and that way I can have some semblance of control. Oh, shoot, it's really hot. Okay, oh, I found this. Check this out. This is a box of grommets, and this just lets you guys know how hot it got in this boat. These aren't covered in WD-40. They're actually melted. They're melted together. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. There is a problem.
That's what all the windows did, essentially.
Yeah. So, like, everything rubber on the boat is like this. And it's just made for, interesting, a lot of problems. And the light keeps moving because we're on anchor and swinging. So, we're just going to keep moving out of the sun. So, this is what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to get ready for crew to come. So, I need to head forward to work. So, that's what all this is about. That was probably 4 hours yesterday of me redoing the entire head, replumbing the thing, and then it leaking, me cursing a lot, and then me, finding another piece to redo it. This has to happen on the aft head also, which is happening this morning with this piece. I'm just going to use this piece, throw this piece away, and use the old piece underneath it. Okay, and then everybody's got heads. I didn't even have any toilet seats before. Everything's done now. It's nice and pretty. Why don't you go shower?
I don't know the condition of this bathroom. Very nice.
So that same thing's going to happen on the aft head, because the aft head's also leaking from this seal is leaking. So what happens is every time you pump it, water comes by this seal, it comes out here and just starts pissing out the top. Also on there, this little duct valve thing is leaking too. So the way that this works is the poo goes out one way, and when it comes out this little duct valve, it goes out, and then it can't come back. So every time you push it out, it pushes it out. This is why you can't put a tampon in the head, or a big wad of toilet paper, or anything really hard, because this hole is not that big, man. It's only like this big, enough for your finger, really. I mean, I can stretch it out. Maybe 2 fingers can fit in there. Oh my God!
What is it?
Oh man! This is the reason that your head gets clogged, and you shouldn't put anything inside it. Okay. I just wanted to show you guys this. Check it out. These things had broken off, so I just used a piece of line. The This one's pretty thin. What you need to do is line it up with the gap from the hinges, or else the hinges are going to be stressed out. This one's just a little more, but it'll compress over time. And then this is brand new. And oh yeah, that's nice. And the hinges are new too. I bought those from the store. So this piece of line is new. That goes down into the switch. So that'll be this piece of line. Doesn't look new because my hands are really dirty, but this piece of line is new. This piece goes up to the tank. This piece goes out to the to this through hole. So right now it's selected onto C, but you can also select it onto tank and it'll go into the tank. So I have a holding tank, that's good. And then the rear is the same. This is just that top cover, and then same deal with these pieces, because they were just exploding and getting pieces of plastic everywhere. So I've got a good flusher. Everything's been rebuilt in here, new hose clamps, and new pieces. Those are a bit bigger because the gap in here is a bit bigger from the seals. 14.2, 13.7, 14.1. It's weird that one battery on each of the series is way significantly lower than the other battery. I wonder if that has anything to do with me being retarded. No, I mean, like, not, like the way I have them hooked up, they're hooked up together, and then they're hooked up together, you know what I mean? Like, this is series, so 12 and 12 makes 24, 12 and 12 makes 24, and then the negative from this one, the negative from this one, the positive from this one, positive from this one are put together, and then they go out to the boat. So it's like having one bank of four, but two of the batteries on each series are really a lot lower than the other two. Maybe I should hook those two up together and have one and one, because right now it's one type of battery and the other type of batteries. Maybe I should switch them so they're one type of each. I'm gonna try that, but I think let me shut off the generator and we'll test the whole voltage. Oh wait, let's test the voltage on the entire system. So this is the positive going out. Sorry, this is the positive.
We can't read it.
This is the So voltage on the whole system. Oh, come on. Play with me, man. Play with me. Here we go. Positive, negative. Oh, we've got 27.7 right now. And let me shut off the Gen. Hey, the stop switch worked this time.
Yay.
That's cool. Last time I had to like pull out the connector. And now we have, what do we have? 27.7?
Yeah.
Now we have 26. 26 volts is very charged though. But let's see what we have individually. 13 volts, 12.9, 12.8, and 13.2. Oh, that's not too bad. I guess that's not a crazy disparity. I think they just charge at different rates. So let's see what happens in the next hour, and we'll see if it drains really fast. That means a couple of these batteries are dead. I ran the generator for 4 hours today. 4 hours. And the batteries were at, I don't know, like 25.7, 26.7, 26.6, something like that. We're like really, really high, like 100%. Check it out now. This is about 5 hours later. Oh, come on.
Let's see the screen.
22.57. That is less than 0%. I mean, like, they're done. They're done. This means I'm gonna either have to wait here for like a month to get the batteries from
the lithium, and if I buy lithium, then I'm gonna have to buy all the Victron stuff. This is not gonna work. I can't charge the batteries for 4 hours and they last for 4 hours. We have to run the generator like right now. Yeah, what do you guys think? So as my buddy Plucky would say, big news, people! I've got myself a bloody sponsorship. Dakota Lithium is hooking up the Sailing Zingaro with brand new batteries for the Oyster. They're gonna be awesome. It's gonna take care of most of my problems. It's gonna make my life completely different. I got a chance to sit down with the team at Dakota and talk about all kinds of questions. Lithium batteries, how much power you need, why they're in the battery business, and they are some cool guys. If you'd like to see that entire interview, it's on Patreon right now. Just sign up for Patreon. Go to www.patreon.com/SVZingaro. I just want to tell you guys that. I'm freaking excited. Heck yeah.
The way that this works is it's forward threaded on this side and reverse threaded on this side. So if you go to the right, you'll tighten it on both sides. Lefty loosey to here, righty tighty here. I want to go just like maybe that far, one turn, and then look up the mast. Let's see. Oh, that helped. Now it's got a little bit of the bow on the end. Let's see what a little bit of tension will do on the end. And I just noticed that none of my rigging has cotter pins in it, so I'm going to put cotter pins in all of it too. I like this rig though. It's nice. So this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the bend through up this track all the way up to the top. Should have a slightly back bent upper and a very straight track. Okay, today's job is the Spartight. That is a two-part polymer that fits inside the mast boot instead of shims and provides a watertight seal, so no rain can get in the boat. So the mast, where it goes through the boat on the top, through the deck of the boat, it's got like a big aluminum piece that's in there, and there's a couple of ways to keep the mast steady on the boat. One way is to put shims in, like wooden shims, and another way is this. So this is what it'll look like when it's done. So there's the mast extrusion, and here is the little mast base in the deck of the boat. And this stuff is a two-part polymer that you pour in, and it seals it up and apparently works really well. I've actually seen this on a few boats. Half of them leak. So hopefully mine won't. This thing was an absolute pain in the butt to get off. I ended up having to like cut halfway through it with a hacksaw manual, and then just use a wood chisel to get it off. But now I've encountered the problem where this is not going to work to fill the negative space of the mast. So come here and I'll show you. So this is the space that big piece came out of, and this is what Spartight gave me. And this will not fill the entire space. So to mitigate that problem, we just need to get this bigger. So what I've done is I've taken a piece of tubing, 1/2-inch tubing, and I put a towel around it, and then I put that piece of styrofoam stuff around that, and then taped it to it. So now it's the same shit, it's just bigger. And that'll work probably. Let's go see. Oh yeah, this is way better. Yeah, so now there's no light coming through the negative space.
Looks real good.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, I'm gonna do the rest of this, and then we'll catch up from there.
So many days is yet to come. Too many times has come to pass. Too many moments put aside. Getting out alive, getting out alive. Riding gentle hand. Through the sunrise I will thrive, getting out alive, getting out alive. When you find that open door, you gotta let them love you more. Tender hearts will always fight the darkness of the light. When you find that open door, you gotta let them love you more. Tender hearts will always fight the darkness of the light. The darkness of the light. The darkness of the light. The darkness of the light.
I replaced these two switches. Let's just start from the front. We'll go to the back. I replaced these two switches because they weren't working, and now they're working. I cut off about 6 feet of this anchor chain because it was really rusty and oxidized. Put on a new shackle. I don't have a swivel right now that'll fit this, but as long as I'm not on anchor too long, it won't be a big deal. And then there's the new, what is that anchor called? The Rockna anchor. Oh, what happened there?
I stepped on the button.
It's okay. Luckily, it actually won't go down all the way because there's a pin at the front, so that's nice. I've had that happen out to sea before. Okay, so that's on there. On the furler, I've greased all of the furler bearings. There's a furler bearing in here, and in here. All of them are greased, and they turn real nice now. This one too. And then ran the new halyard lines. Those are the lines that raise the sail. I've also, I think that this, what are these called? I always forget what they're called. Whatever they're called. These?
Snatch clamps.
Something like that. I think this one's suspect. I think it's going to break. So I put a little Dyneema backup line on it just in case it breaks. And I made it just a little smaller because Dyneema stretches. So I think that's enough stretch where it doesn't matter. One of these, I just don't want them to get in a way of each other and start getting screwed up. Windlass works. I have to re-glue the windlass box underneath. I also pulled all the chain out and marked it, so now I have 10 meter, 20 meter, 30 meter, 40 meter, 50 meter. That's here. So everybody knows what it is. The first white one's 10, the second white one's 20. Blue, red means stop. Moving backwards, there's a spinnaker here. The spare Genoa is going to be here. That's like a 140. There's going to be some spare halyards and lines, and this has been replaced. This is a new hatch from, well, actually it's a used hatch. Moving back, did the same thing with this one, and this is the staysail that we're actually going to use. It's a Vertrex. It's a hood sail. It's a really nice sail. I have a whole set of hood sails made out of this special Dacron. Looks cool. Also very, very slippery now that I glued everything, and the sail's up, and this one's ready to go. Replace this hatch, replace that hatch, replace that hatch. I re-ran all of the lines for the spinnaker pole, so the lift line and all the lines are new. This is the spinnaker halyard. This is the extra Genoa halyard, so there's actually another Genoa halyard that's run just in case the Genoa halyard breaks or we need something else at the top of the mast. Don't know if I need both of these. I may end up taking this out, the extra one, and putting it in the boat, but when we're underway, it's nice to have an extra one. This line needs to be replaced. I need to actually buy a new line. This is the outhaul line for the sail, for the main. The main it's a manual main, it's not an electric one, so I control it with this. This is a pretty old line, so I'm going to get a new piece of line here and a new piece of line here eventually. And this is just an endless loop that you put through a winch, and that's how this works. It's got two swivels here, which I've greased. They are moving nicely. I ended up breaking a couple blocks when we were trying to get the sail out because it got stuck at the top. So these are new. This one's new. I imagine there's going to be more block failures, but I've got a bunch of big blocks, so I'm pretty good for blocks. As long as these track blocks don't break. I have not set up the running backstays, so if there's a lot of wind, we can't run the staysail without setting that up. But I've got some extra line for that. I've also got some extra line for a preventer, which will go here on the end of the boom. So I've got a gaff and a boat hook in here. Oh, I had a boat hook. It might be inside. There's also a bird's nest in there, which is nice. This hatch is new. That hatch is new. This is the new outboard. And I'll just show you guys real quick. She's running real nice. So that'll be our mode of transportation. Was there water coming out here?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, you know what? So this is really important whenever you drive this thing that you feel water, because that means that's the most important part of this whole thing, or else it doesn't get cooling and then it overheats and then it messes up. This is the spare engine that's going to go in the back lazarette. The only other thing I haven't done yet, is I haven't greased all the winches. We're not going to have to do that just to get over to the harbor to anchor. But I have a dinghy, I have an outboard motor, I have the whole boat rigged up, and I have one sail. So that's the outside of the boat. Now let's go inside. Okay, now here's the inside of the boat. And starting from the front, the V-berth, which was completely full of crap when I got the boat, is now completely ready for crew. And yeah, I think that this should be a room for a couple because it's huge and there's a whole bunch of storage. So we're in the process of making the bed, but there's a couple fans that are going to be new in here, and the bed, once it's done, is going to be really nice, super big. It smells good in here. This is nice. This is a nice room, real nice room. So this will be fun. And then the ensuite head is now working with the shower. So this is where we take showers now because it's the biggest shower. And the shower pump works. Head works. Right now it's not plumbed to the tank though. That's going to be a problem, but it won't be hard to plumb it that way. This is going to be set up for one person, and the bottom bunk is going to be storage for extra parts. We have the same kind of bedspread that goes on, and then the sheets will go on, and then nice pillows and stuff. We'll make it look real nice, but that's the bunks for now. This is way better than it was before. All the tools and spares are in here, and we've put the covers on the settee cushions. Everything needs to be like vacuumed and cleaned, but it's getting to the point where it's almost a boat. This is just gonna have to be replaced. I totally screwed this up. It's got 5200 on it. It's never gonna look right again. And then ultimately, all these cushions will be recovered with real covers, and it'll look really nice once that's done. But this is kind of how it's gonna look for the next month or so. The galley, Laura's been doing an awesome job in the galley. We replaced the faucet. I honestly don't like this faucet. This is a stupid faucet. It doesn't come out far enough. What we need is for this piece to be out here. So next time I'm gonna measure this distance. It was a stupid waste of money, but it looks a lot better and it's a lot more functional, and it doesn't leak like our last faucet. The fridge and freezer work now. I had to get those refilled with R134, and then we've got pantry space there where the microwave was. We took the microwave out, and then here and here. This is all pantry. So that's not even all the space in here. This boat is ridiculous. It's awesome. I've tested the teak table that goes outside. That table fits out there, and it's really nice for like 4 to 6 people. That's a big table for outside. And I threw away the old slats for the companionway, and now these are the new slats. They're solid teak and they're nice. Nav station. Didn't really do much with the nav station. I think I'm gonna have to. Most of this stuff is old and messed up. This is like an old sat phone. A lot of this will have to come out, and then I'll redo the leather, the faux leather, and put something else there. All the fans work. These fans are shit. These like little Hella fans from China. They're right. You hate them.
They're
right?
so bad.
So I'm gonna get all new Caframo fans when we get to Florida. Okay, and lastly, the back cabin. It's a little more trashed because I had ripped down all the headliners and ripped off all the trim to access that big leak that's coming through the deck. And that's going to be a job, man. It's coming through the deck under the teak. So I'm thinking there's only one way to really like temporarily fix it is to just inject epoxy under the teak, let it kind of spread out, and then put a couple batteries on it and just glue everything down. And hopefully the glue will go into wherever it's cracking and that kind of stick everything together. And then we can access it from the bottom too. But ultimately I'm thinking the teak has to come up to fix that, which is gonna make a huge eyesore because there's no way to get the teak up and then glue it back down and make it look good. It's just no way. There's no way. Maybe with a really long, like, you know those things that you put icing on cakes with? That thing, like if it was this long, maybe I could get underneath there and like try to get the teak up and back down, but I don't know. That's kind of a pipe dream. This head is working, and the shower works in here, and the pump works in here, and the generator works, and the engine runs, and I've tested everything, and everything's fine. So it looks like we're gonna have to run the generator about an hour a day, and should have all of our power needs taken care of. We just got the last of the headliners up, except for these, and the boat's looking like a boat. I can't wait to get it on the water, so it looks like tomorrow's the day. Okay, peace, love. That's the update.